Hi, it's time to stamp with Leanne Jago again. So it is back to school theme for September's challenge. So head on over to the Facebook page and check it out there and make sure you enter, please, please. So what I'm going to do is I have a piece of chipboard there and I want to use that shoe stamp and then some schooly type features. So book writing, text, that sort of thing. So I'm starting out with a Dylusions tag and I'm just going to collage on some of the book text there just so I'm not having a blank page to start with. Now, as you will see that I'm not particularly careful or plan where anything's going to go. I just sort of put it on there and stick it down. And yes, I overlap and I hang over the edge of the tag. So it doesn't really, in the end, look like a tag shape, if that makes sense. But you'll soon see. So I know that you guys have gone back to school in America, and we have been back to school for a long time in Australia. And we're sort of school's coming to an end. But I've had that chippy and sitting there for a while on my desk, and I knew that this challenge was going to be perfect. So I've applied my book text, I've waited for it to dry, and then I'm just going to scrape on some gesso. And then give it a bit of a dry off, but I forget to hold the piece so it goes flying away. There we go. The joys of creating videos. Okay, so now I have just a blank piece of cardstock, so it's not textured or anything like that, so I don't get any texture happening through it. So I'm just going to stamp out this shoe image. I'll stamp it out a couple of times and then I'll pick my favourite. Because I don't have a proper stamp block and my ink pad is running out, so I really need to get some more. So it's just a Stazon black ink pad. So my idea was I was going to get these shoes, cut them out, and then make shoelaces on them and then hang them off the sign. That was the plan. I did change my mind partway through, but it still ended up looking like that. My shoelaces that I was going to use didn't end up using them. But anyway, I think sometimes you've got to adjust your concept in your head sometimes because it doesn't quite work out, and sometimes it looks better. So I'm just cutting those couple of shoes out. My idea behind using a shoe and a back to school is that I don't know about you guys, but I'm forever buying shoes for my kids, especially my son. I don't know what he does to them, but anyway. So the shoes represent a new start, a new school year, back to school after holidays, that sort of thing. And they're pretty cool. So as usual, I will have a list of the materials that I've used in the comments below, and also on the blog post all the stamps that I have used will be linked to the shop as well, so check that out. Hey, there's some really cool ones. So there's what I was thinking, I've got those little shoelaces, I'm going to use that, and then I thought no, they're too fat and thick and that, so I am going to sew some shoelaces on there, I suppose you can say, and it's with like the butcher's thread, how they tie up pieces of meat, but it's not waxy. I don't know how. It's a really thick thread. I think there's about 8 or 9 strands to it. So I won't. I will sort of fast forward this bit because you really don't need to see how non-professionally I stitch, putting it nicely. I sort of do change my plan because I'd punched holes and that just wasn't going to work. So then once I've finished stitching them, I will just tie them up. So it it keeps the laces there hanging, so I've left the threads on the end so it looks like shoelaces. Well, I reckon it looks like shoelaces. So I have a piece of chippy there and it just says ready to rule, just from an Australian company here, and I thought it'd be really cool to hang the shoes off of that. So yeah, so I'm putting one lot of laces through the R and then I'll hang the other shoe off of the E because I sort of want them to hang as if someone's carrying a pair of shoes. You know the look I'm going for. So I stitched around the edges of my background, and then I'm ready to start layering these up. So I'm having a look. Yep, that looks pretty cool. And then I am just going to use a variety of these stamps with different distress oxides. So I'm going to use the, this one's the Waybill invoice background, and then all the distress oxides as well. So I go through a few. I use tea dyed, broken china, walnut stain, fired brick, black soot, aged mahogany, and ground espresso. And then the stamps that I used, I said the Waybill one, and then I use a lot from plate 1455. So I use the Paperclip, the measuring tape, double coffee rings, the writing triangles, and the writing circles background. So you'll see what I do is I put it down. I'm thinking that looks too stark, I suppose you can say. Like, yeah, I know it just didn't look how I envisaged it to look, so I sprayed it just with a little bit of water. I've gone over with the Waybill because I really wanted that text and the lines and everything like that to stand out, so I went over it with some Stazon. So I'm not feeling it, so you can see there I'm not feeling it, so I've just spritzed it with water and then just heated it, and it sort of, it muted all the stamps a little bit, I suppose you can say, but they're still there, you can see them, and then I do go over some later on as well. So I've just got some staples there because, you know, staples, school supplies. In my head it works. So now I realise that those shoes are probably just a bit too stark and white. So yeah, I just smushed some of the broken china on a little piece. I think it's a mount thing, stamping platform thing, and then dried them off. And I reckon that looks better already. And then I decided, you know, that background's still not happening for me. So I get out, this is where I get the double coffee ring stain and put it on there as well. Stamp it a fair few times, which I probably, hindsight, shouldn't have. But again, I just spritzed it with some water and dried it off. And I really like the background of this one. Yeah, it came together like really easily, and it was so much fun to do because I don't, even like I used to do a lot of scrapbooking, even when I did a lot of scrapbooking, I didn't do a lot of back to school items. So this was fun for me. So I've just got two different sizes in the foam tape there. So like a thinner one for the bottom shoe, and then, you know, a bit thicker for the top shoe. And then I'm just layering these guys up to put them on. And then I'm going to add a quote as well, just down the bottom, because I like to add words to my pieces. And then I've got a really dodgy pen that doesn't really work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So I'm just going to outline those words, and it actually, you can see them. It looks pretty cool. Then I decided that I need to make the shoes a little bit more dirtier. So I'm just using some, I think it's ground espresso. Again, just putting it on randomly and then doing some splatters. And then I'm basically finished, guys. So it was that quick and it was that fun. I really love the laces. I love the shoes. It really says back to school for me. So as I said, check out the Facebook page, the Viva Las VegaStamps groupies for the September challenge and hashtag your challenge. And yeah, I think there's a link up there now. So thank you so much, guys, and I really hope you enjoy that one. I loved making it. It was different for me because, as I said, I'm not usually a school person, a back to school stamper or anything. So yeah, it was fun. So enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Bye.